What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today here on Forza Horizon 5, there's something I did want to talk about that I feel like is probably the only game that allows you to do something like this, which, for example, I'm going to show this with the Bugatti. But being able to build cars the way that you can in this game is just another reason why I love it. Now, you might be wondering, well, Block, why are you showing the Bugatti, man? Well, the reason for that is you guys might see a normal Bugatti, right? There's nothing too insanely special about it. Like, yeah, you can add the turbos and upgrade some stuff on it. But one of the coolest things I notice about this game is the fact that you could turn something like this Bugatti into a rally or cross-country vehicle. That is just honestly crazy, man. Now, this isn't the only car you can do it to. I am going to show you guys some footage later on of the Koenigsegg CCGT that's lifted, and it's also going to have rally tires on it. But without further ado, though, let's now add the rally suspension on the vehicle. Head down, let's do, you know what, let's just add the chassis and the weight reduction, even though that's probably not the best thing for an off-road vehicle. Kind of want some weight there. Let's head over to tires. You can also do off-road tires on this thing, man. Like, this is a lifted Bugatti, bro. Does that make any sense? Probably not, but we're going to run with it. Let's head over to this. You can widen the tires out more, which is great for off-roading. I could make it, like, super wide. Yeah, let's do it. Looks kind of wonky, but, yeah, no, we're going to do it, man. This is going to be the weirdest looking Bugatti ever. Like, look at that, bro. Like, okay, this is the thing. What other racing game can you literally do this in, man? I'm curious. I don't think there's a lot. I'm not going to add Forza Aero, even though that makes, everything kind of better, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to be real. I don't really use Forza Aero that much. I don't think anyone does. What's the drivetrain in this car again? I honestly don't even know. Oh, let's add that to it. Race drive line. Oh, we could do off-road diff, so if we wanted to upgrade the car a bit, we could do that as well. And then I think that's pretty much it. I do believe this car is already all-wheel drive. It is indeed, so that's pretty much all, guys. But we can also add some off-road wheels to it. Got to do that. We got to make this thing look off-roady. Am I right? Let's see, though. Let's see. Off-road wheels. What should I add to this thing? I was thinking... Okay, that looks kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. It definitely does not look like the off-road vehicle you'd expect. I'm going to add those to it. I think I will change the color, guys. But check this thing out, though. It is going to be a lifted off-road Bugatti. Now, again, this is not the only car you can do this to. There is more of them. You can do it for pretty much any of them, as I do know. But the thing is, though, when I was looking at some of the vehicles, not every car can have off-road tires on it. Some are going to have rally, which in ways are still equally going to be great for off-roading, bro. What color combo should I do on this thing, man? I kind of like this one. I think that looks kind of dope. I do know this is like the normal Bugatti color, but I kind of like the white on there matching the wheels, even though I don't know how I feel about that. We're going to have red there. Looks kind of cool. We have the white. That's an interesting color. You know what? Let's just go with this color and mix up the Bugatti a bit. I'm probably going to leave the wheels white, though. Also, guys, wanted to point this out. One thing I did not know until I was looking at forums and stuff, I didn't know you could paint wheels like this. Honestly, I didn't. I felt kind of dumb when I realized it, but look at that. You could do, like, the little things. I wonder if I could do, what's paint group 2? That changes that color? What? It changes the little thing on the side of it. That's different. Okay, now, besides all the customization thing, though, you guys know I had to jump in this car and drive it for a second. Now, I'm probably going to guess and say some people are like, dude, what in the world did you do to that car, bro? Now, I also understand that nobody in their right mind is going to be putting off-road tires on a Bugatti and lifting it. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but then again, though, would somebody do it? I don't know if Bugatti would even let you do that. Would they? Kind of like how Ferrari probably wouldn't let you do some of that stuff, but here, let me head on over to the off-road area, guys, and this thing feels pretty weird. Then again, though, it kind of feels like it did before. It's just got off-road tires, but I gotta go off-road this thing and see how it handles. When I was using the CCGT, I was genuinely laughing at it because I'm like, man, I am pretty much racing a lifted Koenigsegg in a video game. Like, how does that even happen? I do know for a fact no other game is probably going to let you do any type of build like this. And again, this is not the only car you can do this with. I do know people are probably like, well, can I pick this car or that one? Some of the cars are probably going to differ a little bit with what you can do to them. But most of the time, you could pretty much add off-road tires to some of them. I do know more is probably going to be rally-based. But I also noticed you can basically lift any car in the whole game, bro. Like, I didn't even understand it at first. But I was like, wait, so does that mean I can lift a Bugatti Divo? Yeah. Can I lift a Koenigsegg Agera? Yeah. So you could pretty much have some really odd builds or some funny builds on here. Now, I don't necessarily think some of these are going to be good for PvP, but I gotta be real. This thing feels really great off-road, man. Like, it not only handles very well, I didn't even touch it for one. Kind of want to see how it does without it, but it feels so dang good off-road, man. Like, this thing is amazing. Are you going to be hitting gigantic jumps with it? I would probably say not a great idea, but if you are going to be doing something like rally racing or something like that, or hitting some of these roads up, I think this thing is going to be fantastic. Now, here's the thing. Let me head over and, you know what? I should probably test the jumping ability, shouldn't I? Let's head back over here. I want to go back up pretty much the dunes. I'm just going to hit the dunes. I'm going to go full speed that direction up the hill. So let's just go hit the dunes, see how this thing jumps, though. I do know a lot of the cars, even though they have better suspension, they may hit bigger jumps and slow down a bit, which I was noticing. Some of the cars, like trophy trucks, don't. I guess you could say like off-road vehicles with better suspension won't. This thing doesn't seem to be too bad, though. And it's also pretty much going to be an S2 off-road monster. You can use it pretty much anywhere you want. And I do love that about this game, because you could pretty much build something insane like this and go dune race a Bugatti Chiron, bro. Does that make any sense? I don't think it does, but it does in Forza, which is probably a reason why I've been enjoying this a lot, because I don't know of another game that allows you to do stuff like this one. You know what? Let me switch over to the Koenigsegg I built real quick. I was going to show footage, but it's better just to drive it. I think that's the best way. You got to find Koenigsegg. There it is. And there's a CCGT. Now, this thing looks pretty wonky, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how the lifted suspension's going to look on this thing to you guys, because I think people are like, yeah, no. But here, look at this real quick. Look at the CCGT with lifted suspension, bro. It looks pretty weird. Very weird. I mean, look at that gap, bro. Imagine seeing this on the road. And I also did add wheels to this to make it look more off-roady, I guess, in a way. And those are 1552s, I believe. Yes, they are, which looks pretty nice. Also, on top of it, this thing is rear-wheel drive, so the handling is not nearly as stable as something like the Bugatti is, but I still feel like it's very usable. Did throw on TC with it. If I was going to drive this thing or race it off-road more, I'll probably end up doing something like an all-wheel drive build to it. It'll probably be a lot better. After this, though, I do want to switch to another car, guys, which is probably going to be a Lamborghini or something that you could do a similar build with. But look at this. This is just so funny, man. I'm off-road racing a Koenigsegg CCGT. A lot of people might be like, well, these builds are cool, but nobody's going to do that stuff. But here's the thing. You are at least going to have the option to do these type of builds if you want to do them. That's the biggest thing. Like, yeah, a lot of people might not want to mess with it. I get that. But here's the thing. At least you can do it, and you're going to have the option to make some really funky car racing builds. And guess what? You could still go race these, be competitive, have fun, and pretty much drive cars that you would most likely never see in real life, which is kind of something a video game does offer you to do, especially something like Forza. But here, let me go back to the HQ, though, and do this to a different car. For the second car I did want to show here is going to be a good example, because this one isn't going to have off-road tires, but instead you can add the rally tires to it. And on top of that, guys, it is the Sesto Elemento, which I gotta admit, it is probably one of my favorite Lamborghinis ever. Like, I absolutely love this thing. And I can make the tires wider. Probably a good thing to do for off-roading. Should we bring them out a little bit? Yeah, let's bring them out a little bit on both sides there. Man, just the Zesto Elemento, man, is so beautiful. Now, I'm sure I'm probably going to get attacked a bit in the comments with what I'm about to do with this car, but just hear me out. It is only going to be a rally monster for a little while. This thing is still a street legend. Let me add the bars to it there will help it. Now, as you guys will see right now, there's more you can do to the car. Like, I can do all the upgrades and stuff like that. Let me add some of these to the vehicle, even though some of them are probably going to make the car slower in a way, or at least not as good off-road. But then again, though, is the Zesto Elemento really made for off-roading? I don't think so. You can also do some Forza Aero, which makes the car a little bit better. I can kind of see why people aren't the biggest fan of Forza Aero. I do admit I don't really put it on my vehicles, but I can tell why people might not be the biggest fan, because it's the type of thing that you might look at and go, okay, so I have to add this to my vehicle, even though I don't like it. Bro, those wheels, okay, those look cool. Am I wrong? Okay, I'm going to add those to it. I'm also going to color them, though. Maybe I'll go with a white or black color on the wheels. Let me buy this. So heading over to the color of the vehicle, though, I did want to add the wheel color to it. Let's see, paint group 1. What does this do? Ah, okay, that's kind of cool. Let's go with black on that one. I could also do like a carbon fiber color to it as well to like match it. What does this even do, bro? Am I tripping? Oh, it's the rings. That's kind of cool. Wait a minute. Can I do like a... What if there's like a red ring that will match that? Nah, that's pretty wild, bro. Let me go back down to outer lip. I'm guessing that's this. It is indeed. Let's just put the black one on there. I think that looks pretty dope, and that will probably do it. Alright guys, so I'm now outside with the Zesto Elemento. Serious question, what do you rate my Rally Zesto in the comments? You gotta admit, this thing looks pretty dope, man. I do admit it's kind of funny seeing it lifted with rally tires, but the fact that you can do it, I already love this car driving it on the road, so why not make like an off-road version of it and love it there as well, am I right? Let me go take it to this small track though, see how it does. Now with the rally tires, I'm sure everyone does know this, but for example on the Bugatti with off-road tires, that thing is probably going to do better overall in a lot of like cross-country situations and off-roading, whereas I feel like this car is going to be good for this type of stuff. I mean, heck, I might even jump into some weird, like, I guess you could say dirt racing with it, probably be the best way. Maybe try to find some event lab like rally races and test out the Lambo there, but this thing actually feels really good. Like, it doesn't feel like it's sliding, it's gripping really well. Now, I do know the all-wheel drive's probably helping. I am running TC. You know what, let me turn off TC. See if that will make a difference there. I do know TC is probably going to help a bit, but I was running that because of the other car. If you have no TC on the CCGT, man, it is very annoying to drive. I'd probably make it all-wheel, but turning it off, man, this thing still feels great. Wow, it's just, it doesn't even feel like I'm driving a regular Lambo. Like, it does, don't get me wrong, like, you can hear it and stuff. It is going to be a Zesto, but it literally feels like a rally car. It's just so wild to me how you can do this. And that's probably one of the best things about Forza, man. Seriously, I feel like a lot of people, if you're into off-roading or you want to do more of this stuff or you want to experiment with some of the funniest builds ever, that right there alone is probably a reason to get Forza. This is something I did hear about. My friend was like, dude, you can pretty much lift cars any way you want. You can upgrade them. You can do all kinds of engine swaps. I'm like, really? You could do that much stuff? He's like, yeah, dude. Pretty much no other racing game lets you do it. And you know what? After playing Forza, I can see it. What other game is going to be out right now to where I can drive a lifted Sesto Elemento off-roading? I'll wait. Probably going to be waiting a while because there is no other game that lets you do it, and most racing games don't even have the Zesto in there. It's kind of funny. You know, I'm just going to drive right this way. I'm going to go off-road with it. I do know the rally tires aren't the best for this. It still works, but it's probably going to be a bit better with actual off-road tires. But this still works, man. This thing can jump still. This is so funny. I'm jumping... I'm jumping a Zesto, bro. I can't believe it. That's just wild to me. I can't wait to see what they do with Forza Horizon 6. Playing 5, I am super addicted to this game. I pretty much have been playing it straight for 2 months. I kind of think I need a break sometimes, and then I'm like, nah, I'm going to play it again. And then I start doing stuff like this with cars, bro, and here I am for hours on end racing a Zesto off-road. It's just wild. Do let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Easily going to be one of my favorite things about the game. There's a lot of things I love about Forza, but being able to do builds like this really adds on to it. Makes it pretty much unlimited when it does come to like different builds you can experience or mess with, and a lot of cars are going to perform differently depending on what you're doing with them. Like for example, racing off-road in a Zesto Elemento, which to be real, you probably won't see anywhere else.